Now, first of all, what the hell is that title intro? What was that? Why was it so bad? Why was the music so quiet? Seriously, what were they thinking when they made that? Like, compared to any of the other ones. And it just gets even worse. The title intro is so bad. Now for the story. It's basically just a retelling of Brotherhood, except it's a lot worse because the actual interesting part of Brotherhood wasn't the plot itself, because it's just taking over a city from the Borgia. And this one you're taking over the city from the Templars, which is basically the Borgia were the Templars. So it's the same plot, but again, what made Brotherhood's story interesting and so good was the characters. There was Bartolomeo and La Volpe and Ezio and Cesare and Rodrigo and
Everyone ready?
Machiavelli and Lucrezia and all of those. They're all great characters. But all the characters in this one are so garbage. Jacob and Evie are the dumbest, most bland characters I've ever seen up until Odyssey. But they're just so bad. I don't care about them at all. Jacob tries to be funny, but he's just not, and it never works. He's like, and they both talk so stupid. It's like they just say the dumbest things, and they sound so stupid whenever they're speaking.
Find the piece of Eden!
Oh, what's this, Greenie? Assassin Christmas.
Especially Jacob. They're just idiots, and I really hate them. They're trying to be like... Ubisoft is trying to make like a friendly kid game, you know? Fun characters, they're wacky, whoa! But it's just stupid, and I really hate them a lot. I cannot stand them. So, yeah. Main characters, the people you play as, unlikable. That's like the Connor issue. That's not good. The characters are garbage. Mr. Green, I don't care. Evie and Mr. Green had like a romantic relationship. Didn't care about that. Wasn't believable or realistic or nothing. And it's one of those stories. At the end, like through the whole game, Jacob and Evie are mad at each other. But you forget because it's conveyed so poorly. And they never really bring it up, except for in one forgettable scene. And then at the end, they like forgive each other and make up, and you're like, oh yeah, they were pissed off at each other the whole game. I completely forgot. Who cares? So, yeah, story's garbage. Villains were also pretty bad, except for one. Maxwell Roth. Now, this guy is just so goddamn creepy and weird and evil, and he doesn't care, and it's just, oh my god, he's so weird, man, and creepy as hell, but it makes him a good villain, because he's just, you're scared of this guy. You're actually scared of Maxwell Roth, and there's the one scene where he kisses Jacob, and it's so goddamn weird and creepy, dude.
Darling, what a night. The stuff of legends.
Why did you do it? All of it.
What? Snap a baby crow's neck between my thumb and forefinger. Slice to bits the ones you deem innocent. Keep the world in its divine, manic state. For the same reason, I'd do anything. Why not?
So yeah, Maxwell Roth is a great villain, and there is a quote from one of the villains that you kill as Evie, the first guy you kill as Evie, in the in the beginning, and he has one quote that I like. I forget his name, but I just like this quote that he says.
We fight to gain what we cannot take with us. It's in our nature.
So yeah, story's garbage, not because of the plot itself, because the plot is just taking over London from the Templars to get it back for the Assassins. Same as Brotherhood, but the thing that makes it so garbage is the characters. Because that in a story like this, you need good, compelling characters, and they just didn't have it, so I really didn't enjoy the story at all. Syndicate is set in Victorian London, and it's the most modern setting of any Assassin's Creed game, so I guess that's nice. And I don't like this setting, especially for Assassin's Creed. I don't think it's even a good setting for a game, because I don't know what it is. It's just it doesn't mix with all the other aspects of the game. Like, I'll talk about this in parkour and exploration and even combat. It's just not fun. This setting isn't fun, and it can even be, I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing, but it can be really depressing. Like, at night when it's raining in London, it's just not fun, because it's actually depressing to play. And I guess that means it does a good job setting the tone, but I don't think it's meant to feel depressing. It's supposed to be a happy game, like the story. Like, there's happy, fun, wacky characters, whoa! But the setting feels really depressing, so it just doesn't mix well. So I guess it does a good job, with atmosphere, but it's still not fun to play while feeling depressed by the game you're playing. So yeah, buildings and palaces and all that look just as good as they do in Unity. The game still looks fine. I don't think it looks as good as Unity, but the game looks nice, and it's a very diverse map, I guess, with like slums and the river and the rich buildings and stuff, but mostly it's just building. I'll talk about this more in exploration, but yeah, I really don't think the setting is all that great, and but it's still a fun setting. It's still fine. I just don't think it's great. The open world and the side content is just everything you'd expect from any other Assassin's Creed up till now, including this game, of course. If you've played any of the other Assassin's Creed games, you've pretty much played this game, or at least did all the side content. There's like there's side missions like you see in every game, except they're pretty low quality, and they're like with historical figures, but it doesn't matter. They're still bad, and I don't enjoy them. I'm talking about the scripted side missions, like that where you go to on the markers, like Karl Marx or whatever. Because the non-scripted ones are actually fun, like you just find in the world, like the cargo hijacks and the train heists are actually really fun. And they're really good, because, you're free to just do it however the hell you want. You can, take out the convoy stealthily, you can drop in on them from your rope, from the zip line. You can just start shooting at them and attack head-on. It's really fun, and it gives you some dynamic choices. But the scripted side missions are just really bad. And all the collectibles you'd expect, there's the animus fragments, and there's the chests. Nothing special. There's useless ones, like the beer bottles to collect. Nothing special. Again, you've played this if you've played any other ones. There's bounty hunts and gang wars, which are bad. Child liberation, assassinations, gang hideouts, these are all boring. I don't like them. People were sick of this formula. That's why they had to change this with Origins. Like the formula. That's why they took a 2-year break. People were sick of this garbage. So, yeah. Scripted side missions and liberation missions to liberate a region are really bad. But just boat sabotages or cargo sabotage or cargo hijacks or train heists, just non-linear, show up whenever they want. Those are actually a lot of fun. Stealth and combat are... I'm not sure if there's a big step up from Unity, honestly. They might have tried to make it better, but I actually think the stealth and combat is a lot worse. because the combat was fine in Unity. They really just needed to fix the stealth, but they kind of broke it even more. Obviously, it's a lot less buggy. The AI is still really inconsistent, like it is in any game. That's still not an excuse, though. The AI should not be this bad. The rope launcher adds an interesting dynamic to stealth. I kind of like that. I still don't really like the rope launcher, but I think it adds an interesting dynamic to the stealth, and I like that. But there is one ability that I just want to talk about with Evie. She can turn invisible, and it's so stupid. If you sit for long enough, there's a skill. She can turn invisible. What happened to this being grounded in reality? That's like something Odyssey would do. It's really stupid. I don't think they should have added that. It would be fine if they just got rid of that. And it's not like you can deactivate it or anything. Once you have the skill, if you sit still for like 3 seconds as Evie, you're gonna turn invisible. And the fact that they put their hood up to show that you're in stealth mode or crouching is insulting. Like, I'm not an idiot. I can see if I'm crouching or not. Let me just wear my hood normally. Assassins don't wear top hats. They wear hoods. That's like the trademark of them. Hoods and hidden blades. So it's stupid. I really hate how they have to put the hood up to show that you're in stealth mode. Just let me wear the hood anyway. So yeah, stealth on its own is just fine. It's just like any other one. There's, you sneak around, you can whistle. Oh yeah, they added whistling back, which is really nice. And yeah, you just sneak around, kill people. Same as any. It's a lot more polished than Unity's, and I think it's a bit better. It's just some things are really stupid, and AI are still really inconsistent. As for the combat, it was severely downgraded. I don't know. Again, setting. You fight with these little knives, because, it's just London street gangs. They're just fighting with little dirks and daggers. But that's not fun to fight with. Just little stabbies, Why can't I fight with massive swords? Like I could in Unity or any of the other settings. Again, why'd they set it in London where I'm using these boring little weapons? It's just, I don't like that. And it's very button mashy. It's kind of like the Batman games. You press B to counter, then X to attack, and then A to stun. That's it. But some enemies, here's the big kicker, right? Some enemies hit faster than others, so you have to press the button faster, and that's all the uniqueness that each enemy archetype has. They put different archetypes, like normal, that you can do anything to, heavy, which you can do anything to, and other ones that you can do anything to. It's like, why are there different archetypes? They just look different. They're not actually different in the gameplay. So I don't know. It's really stupid. You just fight the same against everyone. There's no I don't know. They never change it. And it just gets really boring real fast. It does feel good when you're like hitting every counter. And it can be really fun to do the fight clubs. And like you're going, like once I went like 8 rounds in a row in a fight club and I didn't get hit once because I was hitting every counter, and it felt so good. But it was still easy. It just feels good. So yeah, the combat is not great. It's a big downgrade. And the stealth is, I don't know, I think it's about the same. I'm not sure if I like it better than Unity's or not, but it's still okay. Exploration, again, this is a problem with the setting. It's not fun to explore London because I already know most of the landmarks, and the rest is just houses. I know Buckingham Palace, Big Ben, House of Parliament, damn it, what's it called? St. Paul's Cathedral, or Saint someone's cathedral. There's Westminster Abbey. I know all these things. And so it's not really fun to explore. It's not like in Assassin's Creed 1 where I find this cool chapel in Acre. Or in Assassin's Creed 2. Maybe this is just because I don't know that much about Italy or the Middle East, but I find these cool little palaces in Venice that I didn't know existed. There was nothing in 3. But in Black Flag, it was like, oh, cool, there's a shipwreck here, there's a pirate camp here, there's a British occupied fort here, there's a pirate occupied fort here, there's a little, there's a cool little Mayan ruin here. Black Flag's exploration was so good, man. Compare this to, Unity, where it's like, oh, there's this little palace I didn't know about over here, that's cool, or there's a mob burning a cross over here, that's cool. There's just so many better examples. This game really falls apart when it's compared to the other games. Or even in Odyssey, where it's like, wow, there's a huge lava volcano cyclops boss battle over here. What the hell was that game? What the hell's Odyssey? Anyway, yeah, there's just, it's not really fun to explore London. I think maybe it's just me that knows a lot about it. I think most people know the big landmarks in London. So, yeah, it's just, again, not a good setting. And the navigation, at map, they try to do this cool thing where it's like, oh, when it's daytime, the map is bright. And when it's nighttime, the map is dark. But when I'm trying to check the map at night, I can't see anything because it's dark. And so, it's not like I could switch the time real quick. I just have to wait it out because I can't see the map properly because it's so dark, and it's just, it's stupid. I don't know why they did that. So exploration, I really don't enjoy, because, you know, there's nothing to really explore because it's just buildings and landmarks I already know about. And, yeah, it's not great. I really like the trains. I just like trains in any game. Like, Red Dead, this game, Just Cause. I love trains in games. I don't know what it is, but yeah, so trains for fun. But exploration and the navigation is just underwhelming. Parkour is pretty much non-existent, because you have carriages and you have a rope launcher, so you're never really going to be climbing around anywhere. You're going to be zipping around or driving, because those are the fastest modes of transport. They ditched a key gameplay aspect of Assassin's Creed in favor of a setting that they thought would be cool, because all the streets are so wide, you can't jump those rooftops. You have to zip across them. So they made like a cheat tool to get around the world, and it's so dumb, man. The rope launcher is fun, and the first time you get it as Eevee and you're zipping around the Big Ben and House of Parliament, it's really cool. It's a lot of fun to do that. But it gets really old really fast, and you start to miss like the actual parkour from all the other Assassin's Creed games, because that's what you've been doing in every other game up till now, and then they just ditched that. So it's really strange, and the rope launcher can be fun, but, you know, I would have preferred, of course, a different setting and a different, you know, way to get around, like normal climbing and parkour. I don't like the fact that parkour is basically non-existent. Like, you see the Big Ben, and you're like, oh, that'll be a fun thing to climb, right? No, you just hit left bumper, and you zip straight up there in a matter of 5 seconds. So, yeah, parkour is just, it basically doesn't exist, and it's kind of sad. Soundtrack is all in all pretty forgettable, and it all kind of mixes together. You know, it's London classical music, and the main theme is just another rendition of Ezio's Family, and it's probably the closest to the original of any of the other renditions. But there are really nice pieces of background music that straight up make the game more enjoyable to play. The set pieces and level design really aren't anything special. They didn't really have to try with the level design because you can pretty much zip around anywhere with the rope launcher, but it's still really good. I really enjoy how they made the levels fit with the rope launcher, especially I talked about the stealth sections already. The level design, set pieces are pretty good. There's the Jacob's introduction, Evie's introduction at the two first missions of the game, where I don't know where they are. They're somewhere outside of London. And then there is like this train heist where you like free someone from the cops, and then you go on a train and you like steal an engine or something. I don't know why, but that's that. And then you go to kill Lucy Thorne as Evie in the Tower of London, and that's actually a really good level. I can replay that over and over. It's actually really fun. And then again, where you go kill Maxwell Roth in the like Awakar Theater Opera House. I don't know how to pronounce it. Music house, opera house, theater house, don't know what it's called. But it's a really good set piece, like when you have to escape the burning building. And yeah, I really enjoy it. So set pieces are really nothing special, but they're still fun to play. And level design, again, nothing special, but it's still fine. The progression is really strange, because they added a leveling system, but it doesn't work the way you'd think, and I don't know why it works this way. So, you get XP from doing different things in the open world. This is fine. Then you get skill points with those XP, with that XP, and that's fine. But then, to level up, you need to spend a certain amount of skill points, and it's so weird. It's like, why not just make the XP allow you to level up, and then as you level up, you get a skill point? No? That's how it usually works. But I don't know. It's just a minor complaint. It's just a weird way to. I don't know why they decided to do it like that. So the progression's okay. You have to like find different blueprints to craft things, or schematics to craft things. Different gauntlets and stuffs like this. You have to get different weapons as you level up higher. Different skills to give you more health, and you're more stealthy, and you can turn invisible or any of that. So yeah, progression is fine. You can get gang upgrades, which I actually like. They increase the Rooks gang. That's it. Jacob said that. Alright, anyway. The Rooks, you make them do more good stuff. You make them stronger, and I like that. So, and customization is again kind of lackluster, and progression is strange. Now, the fact that I have no footage and just a picture for this topic might tell you all I need to know. It is nothing. It's worthless. It's useless. It doesn't matter. Just like in Unity. I think it's the same picture, actually. No, I don't have footage for it. Because the first civilization, it's like, instead of an apple, it's like a shroud, and it heals you, and I don't care about it. It's like a piece of cloth. That's not as interesting as the apple. Or even the observatory. And the first civilization structures don't look like them. They're just like normal stone, like you would see in like ancient Rome. Just like normal buildings. It's really weird. And modern day, don't know what it is. Don't know what the story is, really. I think they're just looking for the shroud, but it's boring and useless. So, this game, on its own, it's really not that bad. But we're not looking at it on its own. We're comparing it to all the other games. And when it's compared to the other games, it just completely falls apart. I think the setting and the story really break this game, especially the setting. If this was set somewhere else, it would still have most of the same like gameplay flaws, and the story would probably still be garbage because it'd probably be the same story. But I think the game would be better. They just should not have set it in Victorian London. But you know, cargo hijacks are they really save this game for me. Just to make this game palatable, I guess, to like actually be able to play it. I just do cargo hijacks and train heists, and that's pretty much it. Because this game gets real boring real fast. Not as boring as I don't know, Assassin's Creed 3. I don't think anything's worse than that, but Odyssey is. But this game is just not great. It still isn't bad by any means, but I think it's just it's not all that good. So yeah, I guess that's that. But now we're moving on to the revival of the Assassin's Creed franchise. So with that, we're moving on to Assassin's Creed Origins. The story of Origins is incredible. It is, just the whole plot is Bayek avenging the death of his son, Hamu, and you really care about Bayek, because, his son died, and it's a very real scene, and it's just a kid, and you care about Bayek, so you care about his son. Like, Hamu doesn't have a lot of screen time, but you still care about it, when he dies, and, Bayek's story is very gripping, I guess. I really did care. And all of the, confessions are so dramatic, it's amazing. It's, cinematic. It's really great. So, I really love Bayek's story and his development. He's really angry in the beginning, then he realizes, he can't be like that. He can't just be angry. He's gotta be more civilized and peaceful. And the birth of the Brotherhood and the Creed is great, because this is the origin story of the Brotherhood, the Assassins. And I really like how they did it. So Bayek's a great main character, great protagonist, and I really cared about him. He's easily the best one since Edward. So yeah, Bayek is great. I loved his story. I loved the whole plot. I loved all the side characters and villains like Caesar and Cleopatra and Aya. And Foxidus was really cool. He was kind of like a Sergeant Johnson character. He's great. So yeah, all the characters are great. Plot is great. I love everything about the story. It's fantastic.
You are the Magi from Siwa. I thought Magi's were supposed to protect the Pharaoh. I am Magi to no Pharaoh. You see this? I can read my own name, Nat! We will find you. We will find you in your sleep! Sleep. I never sleep. I just wait in the shadows, and I will kill you all. Everyone who sniffed the air that day in Siwa!
What word did your father say?
Nigga! Jump. Don't think so long. Jump.
Yes, Papa.
Trust me. You can.
I do. I will.
Jump then. Come back. You're not ready.
I can do it, Papa. I can.
Tell us!
Oh, I don't know.
We must go now. I will cut the heart from the boy.
No, wait.
He will never know the afterlife.
No, I will tell you. I will tell you.
He's falling for time. What's this? Stop! This is madness! The snake takes that as your answer.
No!
killed you!
We thought you were dead. You could not even save your own son. You are no one. Bayek of nothing. Father to nobody!
And here is your nobody! May the Hidden One greet you. The Lord of the Duat awaits.
So, this is how a dream dies. I could have built something to last an age.
And Goopa could have sung stories of your accomplishments.
There are things I regret. We all labor for higher powers. We are all enthralled to greater forces. There is no escape. I am but one in the Order of Ancients. This victory will bring you no peace.
It is not peace that I seek. It is not for my soul that I walk this path.
The Order of Ancients will remember me as the bringer of waters and the builder of cities!
Or the desert will blow in and scatter the dream of Metropolis like dust. Hold on. I was wrong! I am responsible. When my boy died, I fought back with rage and anger. But this only made them stronger. We are all different, but we fought together to put Cleopatra on the throne. Now this was a mistake, my friends. But at least it brought us together. Now our enemies are hidden behind crowns, walking in the shadows of kings and queens. Who are the ones that walk in the shadows for the people? We are. Something has come of all of this, and it starts right now. We must continue the fight and defend the free will of the people. And no matter how small, our brotherhood is the only hope. And our kingdom needs no crowns. What we believe in, our values, our creed, will unify us. And I promise that for all the songs of Egypt, I will be the father I was not that day in Siwa. To the Brotherhood.
The Brotherhood!
He was a child, Flavius. My child!
Yeah, that's the one thing I do not regret in my life.
I will never give you peace.
Your son's death made the Order bow to me! Caesar, even. I had Rome! It gave me an empire of 1,000 sons, each one greater than the last. Ah! Come on! Finish me! You coward! The waste of time!
I can't do it! I can't do it!
It's alright, Papa.
No. I will lose you forever.
Not forever. I will be waiting for you in the field of reeds.
Our victories have multiplied, our bond not so.
We could never have been. Everything has told us our love is impossible.
You are right. Something bigger has called us. But our love lives in the Duat.
Only now we are letting go.
Let the gods decide.
The gods are dead.
We must sacrifice our personal lives for the greater good. All this darkness was for a reason.
I was wrong to be so reckless in public without killing. We must work in the shadows.
Egypt has fallen. Greece also. And Rome will fall too. All will fall to the creed, yet no one will know.
When we assassinate only those who deserve it. The few sick souls who try to control us. But they will never know who we are. Cold, calculated, poets of the kill.
I am fine with this. I am not a father anymore. I am not a husband. I am not a Magi. I am a hidden one.
Yes. We are the hidden ones.
We sharpen our blades, pull what hope is left from this foul earth.
Good. Bayek of Siwa. What are you of now?
A new creed. Ours is finished.
Origins is set in ancient Egypt during the Ptolemaic period, so like Ptolemy, King Ptolemy? I don't know what the pharaoh. I think it's King Ptolemy, or the pharaoh's name was Ptolemy. Anyway, that is the Ptolemaic era of ancient Egypt, and it's such a good setting for Assassin's Creed. It's perfect. It's just. It's nice, and there's different biomes around, because it's the entire country of Egypt. But I still think the map is the perfect size. Maybe it's a little big, maybe some areas could have been cut. But yeah, it's the entire country of Egypt and a little bit of Libya. And it's great. There's like the swamps and the deserts and the mountainous deserts. And there's the cities, and there's the white desert and the black desert, so it's like quartz sand and ashy or sand, I think. But all of the and there's like grasslands and grassy mountains. All of the biomes and areas on the map are incredible, and this is perfect for Assassin's Creed. It's majestic and beautiful. It's an interesting setting with, you know, Egypt is a interesting, or ancient Egypt is an interesting time period with all their mythology and everything. So this is a perfect setting for Assassin's Creed, and a perfect setting for a game, really, especially for this game with this story. The story goes along so well with the setting, and I just really love this time period and the setting of this game. The open world and side content in Origins is really, really good. Again, it feels fresh, and it works again well with the setting. There are like enemy forts and encampments, which are really fun to do. A lot of people don't like them, and maybe there is a few too many of them, but they're still really fun to do. I did all of them. I did everything on the map, and it never really got boring. Of course, sometimes it got boring. That's inevitable, but I really like the enemy encampments and animal dens or lairs. You have to kill the alpha animal, and then that's the location completed. Those are fun. They're like good for getting resources, I guess. There are just little treasure areas where you have to find some treasures and chests, which are just fun. Little landmarks to do. There are tombs, which are so good. All the tombs are great. It's a like mini puzzle, and sometimes you even find some first civilization stuff in there, which is really cool. And those were always fun to find. Everything in the open world is just great. You can go hunting whenever you want. You can like intercept resource convoys, kind of like you could in Syndicate, but you don't hijack it. You just steal. You just kill the people, the guards. So yeah, all the side content is really great, and I really enjoy the open world in Origins. The stealth and combat is really, really good in this game, and much improved from Syndicate, or any of the other games, really. I honestly think this is the best stealth and combat in any of the games. The stealth is pretty much perfect, honestly. It's all that it needed to be. It's not overcomplicated like Unity's. It's nice and simple, and it's perfect. There's a crouch button, an assassinate button, and a whistle. That's all you need. And a bow for long range. That's all you need. It's so simple, and it works so well. The AI are consistent, and it feels purely skill based. Like my input really matters, and the game's not playing itself. It feels like I actually need to know what I'm doing. So yeah, it's really good. I really love the stealth in this game, and I think it works really well. It's like, cause you decide if you get chosen or seen or not. I don't know why I said chosen. If you get seen or not the game or the inconsistent AI. It's you. You choose if you're gonna get seen or not, and I love that. It feels like I'm actually in control of the game, which I am, but I actually feel it. So yeah, stealth is really good, nice and simple. I really like it. The combat is also much improved from any of the other games. This is my favorite combat system, easily. There's a heavy attack and a light attack, which is it's a lot more in-depth and complex than the other ones, but I think that works well for Assassin's Creed. Like, it's nice to have a complex stealth system doesn't work, but I think a complex combat system does work. I don't know why. I just feel that way. So you have a shield, you have to block, you have different types of weapons that you can fight with, whatever you like. I just liked the swords, the normal swords, because, you know, they're just nice and basic. And there's actual different archetypes, not like Syndicate, which just pretended to have different archetypes. You actually have to fight differently against different enemies. So it's just like it reminds me a lot of Assassin's Creed 1's combat, with the heavy light attacks, and the dodges and all that. And yeah, there's just little dodges you have to time right, and you have your bow light attack, so you have your dodge, you have your charged heavy, you have your overpower attack, where you can instant kill someone and then get a skill where you can throw the weapon they're holding in another one and get a double kill. It's really nice. I think the combat looks good too. I think it's really, really good, and it's a lot of fun. So I really love the combat and the stealth in this game. It is very nice. The exploration in this game is, again, incredible. It's amazing. I really, really love it. Because, you know, the setting, again, is really great. And it makes the exploration really great, exploring all these different ruins and forts and landmarks, like the pyramids. You can go underneath the Sphinx, and there's a first civilization temple there, or under the biggest pyramid. Which one? I forget the guy's name. Starts with a K, I think. But the biggest pyramid. There's a first Civ temple, and it's so cool to find first Civ temples around, because you're never expecting it. I mean, under the pyramid, obviously there was going to be a first Civ temple, but in other places, when I'm just randomly going in an old tomb, and all of a sudden I find a first Civ temple, that's so cool, and it's a lot of fun. And there's different like little letters you can find, or scrolls that are in some locations, and it just gives more depth to an area, and it's really it's really neat. You can learn a little more about it, and it can be really interesting. So I really love the exploration. And they changed up the navigation a bit too. It's not a mini map, it's a little compass at the top. So instead of looking in the bottom corner all the time, you get to look up to see where you're going, and then you get to see all the beautiful graphics instead of staring down at the bottom corner. And I really like that. That's really cool. So yeah, navigation is improved, and exploration is incredible and fun and interesting, and I really like exploration and the navigation. The parkour in this game is really simple. You can climb absolutely anything with no exceptions, and it's not complex or anything. You just run up to a wall, press A, and you're gonna climb it with no exceptions. Unless there's spikes blocking your path up, you'll be able to climb anything. Straight cliff face, anything. And it takes absolutely no thought, but I still kind of like it, because it gives you a sense of freedom and non-linearity. Like in the other games that are set in the wilderness, like, I don't know, Black Flag or Rogue or 3, it's like, I want to go up a big mountain, or on a little jungle island, but I can't. Because I can't climb that. But in this game, you can climb anything. If you want to see what's up that mountain, you just climb the mountain. Like, straight, just climb a straight cliff face. And it's really cool. It gives you a sense of non-linearity and freedom. And I really like that. So even though it takes no thought, I still think it works well with the setting and the open world. Soundtrack is incredible, especially the main theme, the background or ambient music, and the combat music. Those are probably my favorites, and they're all so good, and they work so well with the game. The set pieces and the level design are both, again, really good in this game. There's only 3 set pieces. There's the first one, Hemu's death, and that's really important to the story, and it's not a great set piece. It is boring because you're kind of just hunting with Hemu, but it's important to the story until the end and that awesome cutscene. But that set piece is just okay. It's just really important cutscene. It's not a not cutscene. Well, cutscene and set piece, but it's not really all that special. But then the other 2, where you play as Aya, I'll count this as one set piece. You play half as Aya and then half as Bayek, where you're the assault on Alexandria and getting into Cleopatra's palace with Caesar. Or getting into Caesar's palace with Cleopatra. That's a really cool set piece, and that's like an hour and a half long, including the Bayek one that comes directly after, where you kill try to kill Septimius in the Battle of the Nile, and that's a really cool one. And you kill the Scorpion, I think? Yeah, you kill Scorpion. And then there's the end one where you go and kill Caesar and Septimius as Aya. And that's a really cool set piece. That's like the last mission. And you get like naval combat, which is pretty good. And yeah, all the set pieces are pretty good. Level design isn't great, but it's still not bad. They didn't really have to try all that much with the level design, since you can climb anything. But even though they didn't really have to try, they still did a really good job making levels and structures. And yeah, it's good. So set pieces are good, level design is also pretty good. The progression is amazing, and the customization is a little bit lackluster, but it's still fine. So progression, first of all. There's an actual leveling system, not like Syndicate's leveling system. It's like an actual leveling system. You get XP, you level up, and for every level, you need more XP to get to the next one. It's simple. That's how it should work, not like get skill points by getting XP, and then spend the skill points to level up. No, it's just normal. And then you can get better weapons, and use better weapons against higher level enemies. And, you know, other enemies get easier. So you feel that were previously same or lower or higher level than you. So it makes sense. It's a good progression system, and it's satisfying to level up. You just get XP by doing things through the world. It gives you a motivation to actually do the side content in the game. Other than just 100%ing it, and it's good. I really enjoy the progression. The customization is just outfits. I kind of like Black Flag. It's a little bit lackluster. You can like take off Bayek's beard if you want. I usually just leave the beard on. And yeah, the outfits are all pretty good though. But yeah, customization is a little bit lackluster. You just change your outfit. But progression is really, really good. The modern day and First Civilization is pretty mixed. I really, really like the First Civilization because, well, the First Civilization is really back in this one because it was gone. It started to disappear in Rogue and Black Flag, and then it completely pretty much disappeared in Unity and Syndicate, and now it's pretty much fully back. You can find their temples throughout Egypt, just in random tombs, and it's so cool because I'm just exploring a tomb, and all of a sudden there's this First Civilization temple, and that's awesome. It's under the Sphinx and the Great Pyramids, and like in these random pharaohs' tombs. It's so cool. And the Apple of Eden is actual plot device again, I guess. But it's actually important again, and characters actually react to it properly, and that's really cool. The modern day I don't really enjoy all that much, because, well, you play as Layla, and she's not that bad in this one. She's worse than Desmond, I'd say, but Desmond wasn't really that bad. It's just boring in the modern day, really. I don't really know what the story is, but yeah, it's pretty bad. This game is great. It's really, really good. It's made by the same people as Black Flag, I'm pretty sure, the same, like, production team in Ubisoft, so, you know, that might explain it. But it's really, really good. It's a great game. The story is, it's great. Settings, great. Open world is great. Soundtrack's great. Pretty much everything about it is great, except for the modern day, maybe. But, yeah, this exploration is perfect. This game is just really, really good. I might not have conveyed it all that well throughout the review. I kind of rushed it a little bit, because, well, I've already made this review, and it got deleted. So, I'm kind of... I didn't really want to make this again, because, you know, I've already done this. But, yeah, this game is just absolutely incredible, and I really, really love it. But now we're going to play the garbage fire of a game, so I guess with that we're moving on to Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Get me to Megaris. Now!
But I don't understand. Of all the places under Ilios, why risk our necks to go there?
The Wolf of Sparta Is my
So the story starts, and what is the story? No, seriously, what's the story of this game? What's the story? What are we playing the story for? I actually can't remember. What is the story, guys? What is it? Is it getting Alexios back? Is that the whole... What's the end goal? Is it getting Alexios back? Is it just stopping the cult altogether? Because you don't kill all the cult members in the main story. And why does she want to get Demos back? It's just her brother that she saw when she was a baby. Why would... What's this story? Am I missing something? What? I don't know what the story is, man. And people die? I don't know. Like, a kid dies and another guy dies, but I don't know why. What's the story, boys? I don't know. I actually don't. And, I don't know what the story is. I don't know what the end goal is. Honestly, I don't. So, yeah, and the characters, I played as Cassandra, because apparently there's a choice of what character you can play as. But why is there a choice? There shouldn't be a choice if you want to play as a boy or girl. There should be one choice. Because that's how this works. You're reliving memories, right? One choice of character. Why is there two? It don't make no sense. So, I've played as Cassandra, who's just a faceless schmuck. Pretty much. She ain't interesting at all. I have no idea what the plot is. At all. So yeah. This sucked. But, I did like the stuff with Leonidas, because apparently Cassandra's like Leonidas' granddaughter, which is stupid. But I liked the cutscenes with him because they had a serious tone and they were shot really well. I actually really like those scenes. So this game is set in ancient Greece in the Peloponnesian War. And on its own, it's not an awful setting. Just with the I don't know, the map and the land. But the Peloponnesian War is set before Origins. Now, Origins, as you may know, is the origin story of the Assassin's Creed storyline. It has Origins in the name. And then in the very next game, they go ahead and set it before the origin story that they just told. What the hell are they thinking? Why would they set it before the origin story? Because you don't play as an assassin. The assassins don't even exist yet, nor do the Templars. There's like the Cult of Cosmos, which are like Proto-Templars, except they're really not, because the Order of Ancients were Proto-Templars in the last game, in Origins. So what are these, like Proto-Templars? That's not a thing. There's no double Protos, okay, boys? It don't make any sense. I think they just wanted to set a game in ancient Greece because they thought that would be epic, okay? They're like, oh man, Spartans, I want to play as a Spartan, yeah. Then they're like, oh, the only really meaningful time period in Greece was during the Peloponnesian War, or that would really work for a game, was the Peloponnesian War. But they didn't think this out, because the Peloponnesian War is set before Origins. So, it's just a big goof, boys. So yeah, setting is garbage, don't make no sense. The open world and side content is, again, really goddamn bad. Now, you might be thinking, well, it's the same as Origins. You know, it's pretty much the same game as Origins. No. That's insulting to even say. But, yeah, this ain't even close to Origins. The quality is much lower. Origins, a lot of the locations had their own mini-stories. They were interesting. You could find, like, these scrolls that give you a bit of information about the place. Their location could be meaningful. But no, this is just, hey, let's place a fort here, maybe put a cave here, throw an animal den in there, let's put another little bandit hideout here, why the hell not? It's just, the map is way too big and way too packed with useless, meaningless junk to do. And maybe I'm just a little bit upset. Maybe I wouldn't be as upset with this if I didn't do all of it. But I think the fact that I did do all of it makes my argument a lot stronger. Because, well, this stuff isn't fun to do. I did it all. And it ain't good. This is just bad. There's too much of everything. There's like caves, lion dens, forts, bandit camps, little forts, and tombs. The tombs. Like, the tombs in Origins were nice. You get excited whenever you find a tomb. It's like, oh, it's a nice little mini puzzle I get to do, right? No. Every tomb is the same, and that's not an generalization. The tombs are the same. The tombs are no different from one another. Just look at them, walk through them. They are all the same. So everything is much lower quality than Origins. There's too much of everything. The map is way too big. I know they're trying to do the whole country of Greece thing, but they did the whole country of Egypt. But no, dude, it's too much. There's too much random garbage. So yeah, open world and side content is bad. The stealth and combat in this game is, maybe you guessed it, it's bad. it's garbage. It's hot garbage. The combat is very similar to Origins. I'll talk about the stealth first, though, just to keep it consistent with the other reviews. Stealth is even worse. It's not worse than anything I've talked about. It's probably the best thing I've talked about so far. But it's still garbage, okay? And it's the abilities, I think, that make it so bad. You can teleport, and you don't just move quick. You straight teleport around and kill people with an ability. Because there's like this piece of Eden that makes you teleport, but I don't think that's how this works. You need to establish rules in previous installments to make this believable. You have this piece of Eden as a spear, Leonidas' spear, that lets you teleport around and kill people. And it's so stupid. What happened to this being grounded in reality? Like every other game. It's like, at least make it realistic and believable. I know teleporting, you can't teleport around. That's not real. That's not realistic. I can't suspend my disbelief at all. And it just looks so stupid. And Icarus, that's your bird in this one. But I hate the bird in this one because in the last game, he was actually a character. And in this game, Senu was actually a character. And in this game, Icarus is just nothing. He's just there. They just recycled the gameplay element just because it was in the last game. So yeah, stealth and critical assassination. There's like an assassination and a critical assassination. But when you do the critical assassination, it doesn't tell you how much health it'll take off an enemy or if it'll even kill it or not. You just have to gamble. And when you get into combat, okay, well, I guess that's a perfect transition in combat. So if you fail a critical assassination because it doesn't tell you if you're able to kill them or not, you get into combat. And the combat is, again, garbage. So it's very similar to Origins. But again, it looks so bad. It looks so stupid. Origins looked realistic, and apparently that was an actual combat style of the time. How they fight in that game, they actually researched that. But like, I hit a guy with my swords that has a shield. I hit his shield, and he goes flying 30 feet. What is that? Why? Again, I can't suspend my disbelief. Or, okay, so fighting's stupid, and I think one mechanic breaks it. It's the roll. You can just roll away. You're gonna have to abuse this feature so much, because in Origins you just had to dodge. It was a little dodge. You had to time it right. But in this one, you can just hold X. You can roll. Just roll around. Just roll back in, hit them, roll away. That's the combat system. And when you start killing people, there's a bounty system. Okay, it's like notoriety. And if notoriety in the older games wasn't already annoying enough, they made it worse. Because bounty hunters will come in, and these are like mini-bosses. And so you fail a stealth because, a stealth kill, because it's inconsistent as hell with the critical assassination. And then they come in, bounty hunters, out of nowhere, because you get in a big battle. And then it makes the fight a lot more difficult. You kill them, another one will come in, and another one, and another one, and it just keeps going. And then you have to pay it off at the end, or kill the guy that put the bounty on you, but then you try to kill the guy that put the bounty on you, and you get another bounty hunter on you, because the stealth doesn't work on that guy. And oh my god, it's such a garbage system. And they brought back naval combat. And you might be thinking, I'll like that because I love Black Flag, Rogue, and even 3's naval combat. But in that naval combat, it was exciting. I felt it whenever I got hit with a cannonball and the ships were on fire and this crew was screaming and I hear the wood cracking. But when I'm doing this naval combat, I feel nothing. And again, that's a product of the setting that we're in. We're in ancient Greece. The naval combat was just with arrows and spears. But that's so boring. I feel nothing when I play this. I don't feel excited, like when there's cannons getting fired at me and I'm firing back and bracing and like ramming another ship. It's just arrows. I'm like, oh yeah, fire. I'll fire another volley. Oh, you can fire another one if you want. I don't really care. You want to fire another volley? And that's the whole thing. It's so boring. Again, bad setting. Because the naval is garbage. Or just don't set it in Greece, because Greece kind of relies on a naval aspect of the game because of all the different islands. So, but they shouldn't have set it in Greece, because there's no way to make the naval exciting, because it's just you're throwing spears and arrows. They don't make any sound when they impact. It's just, oh man, it's so boring. I hate it. So, stealth and combat, it's really unlucky, or not unlucky, it's just really disappointing. It's so bad, because that's what you'll be spending most of your time in this game doing. Sneaking around and fighting. And it's a shame that it's so bad, because, well, that's what you'll spend most of your time doing. So yeah, stealth and combat, inconsistent, infuriating, garbage. There's so many flaws with it. Yeah, it's bad. So, first of all, navigation is exactly the same as it is in Origins with the compass, so that's fine. The exploration I'm kind of mixed on, because there were some cool things to find, like statues of gods just around the place. I thought those were really cool. And some forts were actually really cool. There's one fort that I remember finding, and it was like bridges over a canyon with water running underneath and a waterfall right next to it, and that was actually really cool. I enjoyed fighting in that place. It was a cool place to be. But that's really the only thing I remember. Or remember where it is. The map has 3 different sections, and it never really strays from this, even on the islands. There is the north part of the map is like Canadian forests. That's just it looks exactly like what you would see in Canada. And then the middle part of the map is grasslands, and there may be some volcanic islands, which are boring because the volcanoes never really go off. And the bottom part of the map, the south part, is deserts. And well, that's that. That's the whole map. That you know what to find in every area of the map, wherever you are. The first time you find it, it's like, oh, cool, there's deserts here. And then you keep going. It's like, oh, this is another forest island. Oh, here's another forest island. Oh, here's another one. Oh, here's another forest territory. Oh, here's another fort. Oh, here's another hideout. Oh, here's another cave. Oh, here's another animal den. Oh, here's another shipwreck. It's just too much. Again, it just gets so dull running around. And it's, oh man, it's disappointing, because Greece has a potential for good areas to explore. But it just doesn't work. Because the developer, Ubisoft, got lazy with this game. And I think it's very apparent throughout the whole game. They just got lazy, and it's really sad. So, the parkour and climbing, it's pretty much exactly the same as it was in Origins. There's no real difference. But the one thing that did change for the worse, again, well, it's the parkour, because there's one little issue. It's jumping down. There is no fall damage. You can jump off of a 200-foot mountain, and you take no fall damage, because you just roll. So it's like doing a leap of faith onto rock solid ground. What's that about? Why is that a thing? I don't understand. Like, the leap of faith, first of all, it shouldn't even exist yet, because it's a thing Bayek's father taught him, and then he tried to teach it to Hamu. And again, the origin story, this is before the origin story, so the leap of faith shouldn't even exist yet. Again, bad setting, but yeah, there's no fall damage, and I know that's a weird complaint, but it's just, again, can't suspend my disbelief when I'm jumping off a mountain, and I just roll, and I take absolutely no damage, not even a grunt, or anything like a grunt of pain. So yeah, parkour is pretty much the same, but the fact that there's no fall damage is really stupid. As for the soundtrack, I think the only song, again, really worth mentioning is the main theme, but And it sounds really good, but does it get really obnoxious because it plays in every single pause menu? But it still doesn't sound all that bad. The set pieces and level design were, again, I wouldn't call them awful, but they still ain't nowhere near good. So the set pieces, the only ones I can really think of are a boss fight with Medusa, the Minotaur, a Cyclops, and the Sphinx, which you just had to answer some questions. Now already, that's stupid. Why am I fighting Greek monsters? What the hell am I playing? And this game is just so ridiculous, man. It's just so stupid. Like, you'll just be wandering around like, here, you can see in the footage. I'm fighting a bear that's fighting some cougars or lynxes. I don't know what the hell they are. What the hell am I playing? You'll stop so many times while you're playing this. It's like, what am I doing? This is so stupid. So I actually really liked the Minotaur boss battle, and the fact like the labyrinth was like a first civilization thing. That's so cool. That's such a cool concept. It's too bad they don't go anywhere with that, or it's not expanded on. But I think that's a cool concept. It just, I don't care because they don't really explain it. So yeah, the Greek boss battles are cool, even though they were really, really stupid. Actually, no. Only the Minotaur one I really enjoyed. The other ones were just eh. And the level design is pretty bad, okay? Especially the stealth levels, or stealth areas. They're so bad. Like, every single fort. They're laid out so poorly. Again, Ubisoft just got so lazy with this game. They didn't even try. So, yeah, this game is just... ah, man. Set pieces are... one is laid out pretty well, the rest are stupid and forgettable, and the level design is bad. Progression and customization is bad. Okay, again, wow, a lot of things are bad in this game. What do you know? So, the leveling system, first of all, is broken. It looks the same at first glance as Origins leveling system, but it's useless because the enemies level up with you. Every single one in every single territory. They all level up with you, even if you turn the setting for that off. What? What's the point of leveling up? The whole point of leveling up is to get stronger so you can face enemies more powerful than you. And you can face enemies more powerful than you, but it's also supposed to make weaker enemies easier to fight. That's your reward for leveling up. You get stronger, enemies get weaker. But they level up with you, so what's the point of leveling up? It's... oh god, it doesn't make any sense. If the enemies just didn't level up with you, this would be fine. It would be the same as Origins. God, it's awful. The customization is garbage, lackluster. You can like change each piece of clothing, but you know, most pieces of armor look really bad. So that's that. And the skills break the game because all the skills are like superpowers. Like I talked about the teleporting earlier, and you can like look at any combat and you're like using this spear of Eden to like lift people off the ground, and you can like grab someone's shield and hit them across the battlefield 50 feet. It's so stupid. And upgrading the ship, like the Adrestia, your ship, is not as fun or engaging at all as it was in Black Flag or Rogue. I don't know how a game can go down this fast, even though it's using all the same elements from previous games that were really good. I don't understand. So yeah, this progression and customization is bad. The modern day and First Civilization make no sense. First of all, the modern day, with Layla. They were gonna expand Layla's story. That's really cool. But Layla is an insufferable piece of trash. I hate her so much, more than I can put into words. Oh my god, she is so annoying and obnoxious. And all her, like, assassin buddies that come out of nowhere, they're so goddamn annoying, man. I hate them so much. So yeah, modern day, I didn't care at all. I really think they should just drop the modern day. They should have a long time ago. After Assassin's Creed 3, they should have just dropped it, but it's still here, and it's just being milked, and I hate it. So, yeah, and now the first civilization. Okay, so, they introduced a new piece of Eden that's just a gimmicky piece of trash. It's the Spear of Leonidas, and apparently, out of nowhere, it can let you teleport, it gives you superhuman strength and superhuman agility. It's like, what's going on? When did this happen? You can't just make stuff up. But that's what they did with the pieces of Eden in this game. Apparently, apples of Eden, if they're like in your skin, they can make you into a mythological Greek monster like the Cyclops or the Minotaur, and it's so dumb, man. Oh man, it makes no sense. They just made it up. It's kind of like in Rise of Skywalker, where they just made up force healing. It's like that. They just make garbage up. Doesn't make any sense. So, First Civilization is so... It makes no sense. It's garbage. Modern day is insufferable. Layla's an idiot. I hate it. I hate everything about the modern day and the First Civilization in Odyssey. So I put about 123 hours into this game, and I regret every second of it. But because I did that, I have now successfully... did successfully complete and 100% every single Assassin's Creed game. And you know what? I think it was a bit of a waste of time, but I feel like I had to make these reviews to justify me putting all that time in. And I regret every second of completing this game, honestly. This game has actually, no, there is no redeemable qualities to this game other than the graphics, which are somehow worse than Origins. So, yeah, this game is just garbage. Don't play it. Don't give Ubisoft more money to make this garbage. So, now that all the reviews are out of the way, we're going to give every single topic or subject a score, and add them up to final scores for each game, and rank them. And then that's done. So I guess with that, we're moving on to the scoring. Assassin's Creed Story 7, Setting 7, Open World 6, Stealth Combat 6, Exploration 7, Parkour 7, Soundtrack 7, Set Pieces 5, Progression 8, Modern Day 8. Assassin's Creed 2 Story 9, Setting 8, Open World 7, Stealth 5, Exploration 7, Parkour 7, Soundtrack 10, Set Pieces 6, Progression 7, Modern Day 7. Brotherhood Story 7, Setting 7, Open World 9, Stealth 8, Exploration 6, Parkour 7, Soundtrack 9, Set Pieces 8, Progression 7, Modern Day 9. Revelation Story 8, Setting 7, Open World 6, Stealth Combat 8, Exploration 7, Parkour 8, Soundtrack 8, Set Pieces 8, Progression 7, Modern Day 7. AC3 Story 4, Setting 5, Open World 6, Stealth Combat 7, Exploration 4, Parkour 9, Soundtrack 7, Set Pieces 7, Progression 5, Modern Day 5. Black Flag Story 10, Setting 9, Open World 9, Stealth Combat 8, Exploration 10, Parkour 9, Soundtrack 9, Set Pieces 8, Progression 8, Modern Day 7. Rogue Story 8, Setting 7, Open World 6, Stealth Combat 8, Exploration 7, Parkour 9, Soundtrack 6, Set Pieces 7, Progression 8, Modern Day 6. Unity Story 6, Setting 9, Open World 8, Stealth Combat 6, Exploration 9, Parkour 9, Soundtrack 4, Set Pieces 10, Progression 7, Modern Day 2. Syndicate Story 4, Setting 7, Open World 7, Stealth Combat 6, Exploration 6, Parkour 7, Soundtrack 7, Set Pieces 7, Progression 7, Modern Day 2. Origin Story 10, Setting 10, Open World 8, Stealth Combat 8, Exploration 9, Parkour 7, Soundtrack 8, Set Pieces 7, Progression 8, Modern Day 7. Odyssey Story 1, Setting 3, Open World 2, Stealth Combat 2, Exploration 3, Parkour 5, Soundtrack 7, Set Pieces 5, Progression 2, Modern Day 1. And, so that's all the numbers. Jesus Christ, I'm finally done. But now, we're going to move on to the ranking. Coming in at number 11 is Assassin's Creed Odyssey with a final score of 31. Now, there's just nothing redeemable about this game. There's no good qualities about it. I honestly don't understand why people love it so much. Because there's just nothing to love, other than like, I like to play as a Spartan in Greece, because it makes me feel epic. That's the only people that would love it. People that think like that. So, maybe most of the world's like that, and maybe that's why everyone loves it, but this game is just bad. I don't know what else to say. It's just bad. Just like I said through the whole review, it's bad. At number 10 is Assassin's Creed 3 with a final score of 59. Now, this game is still not good. It's still a bad game, and I can't call it a good game. But it's still leagues above Odyssey. So, yeah, it's still a bad game. It's painfully boring most of the time, unless you're in a scripted naval combat battle. But, yeah, this game is just not great, and it was disappointing. Number 9 is Assassin's Creed Syndicate with a final score of 60. Now, again, there's just not a lot to love about this game. It is very easy to have fun with it. And it is, again, leagues better than Assassin's Creed 3, even though it's only 1 point up. But, yeah, it's a lot better than Assassin's Creed 3 and Odyssey. But there's just not a lot to love, but it is very easy to have fun with it. Number 8, we have Assassin's Creed with a final score of 68. Now, I do feel really bad putting the game that started it all this low down on the list, and it still does hold up today really well. I just think the other games are better. All the games, including this one from here on out, aren't bad. Nowhere close. But it's just not as good as the other ones. I am thankful to it for starting this franchise, of course. But all the aspects together makes for a weaker game than the others. Number 7 is Assassin's Creed Unity with a final score of 70. Now, this is, again, a really, really good game, but there's just a few elements that really bring it down, like the story, or, I don't know, the stealth and combat, but altogether as a package, of course, this game is really, really good. It's just, again, weaker than the others, and it has some weaker aspects to it. Number 6 is Assassin's Creed Rogue with a final score of 72. Again, another really good game. It can be boring sometimes, but I do think it's just a little bit better than Unity because of the naval aspect, and I really love the setting, especially in the North Atlantic. River Valley and New York, not so much, but I really love the North Atlantic, and yeah, I think this Rogue just has a few stronger points than Unity. Number 5 is Assassin's Creed Revelations with a final score of 74. The story of this, obviously incredible. It was the finale to Ezio's trilogy, and it was great. The gameplay was really great, just like it was in all the Ezio games, and I liked the addition of the hook blade, made the parkour and traversal a little bit better. This is just a really good game. It was just kind of not as great because it was kind of a copy and paste of the previous Ezio games, but still really. 4th place is Assassin's Creed 2 with a final score of 75. This was an incredible introduction to Ezio, and this is the game that really got everyone into Assassin's Creed. And this is what really grew the fan base, I guess. I don't know if that made sense, but yeah, this game is really good, really solid, even today. even though it's an older game, and those flaws of old age are starting to show in this game, but still a really good game, and I still really love it. Number 3 is Assassin's Creed Brotherhood with a final score of 77. This game is just fantastic. It's the second story in the Ezio trilogy, and obviously Cesare is a fantastic character and a great villain. I just love everything about this game. I love the setting, I love the combat, the stealth, I love the story, all the characters, soundtrack is phenomenal, everything's great, and this is still a really good game to this day. Number 2 is Assassin's Creed Origins with a final score of 82. This game is really, really good, man. It's just, it's incredible. The setting, the story, exploration, it's perfect. There are some weaker aspects that don't make it the very best one, but it's damn near close to the best one, of course, is number 2. So yeah, this game is really good. It's 100% worth playing, and I really, really love it. Black Flag! God, this game is just so good. Everything about it. Naval combat, the story, the exploration, the open world, side content, everything. Soundtrack, it's nice. This game is not perfect, but it's damn near perfect. And I think it's easily the best one, in my opinion, and maybe not, it's not the best one objectively, but I think it's the best one, and it's damn near perfect. So, Black Flag, number 1, boys. So, thank you guys for watching my really long videos. This took a lot out of me, this took a lot of work, so I hope you guys appreciate this. And, you know, it feels good. I've had all those opinions pent up inside me for so many years, and it feels good to get it all out there, you know? So, thank you for watching. My next video is probably going to be Pirates of the Caribbean ranked and reviewed, all of them, or all the Halo campaigns ranked and reviewed. So, either or, not quite sure yet, but yeah. Thanks for watching my videos, boys.